The summer of 2020 offered much promise of runs, poles, and wasted Saturdays chasing leather. The Victoria University of Wellington Stallions were on the cusp of a division title and the hallowed promotion to reserve grade cricket. But for one Stallions batsman, a summer of promise turned into a test of patience, a trial of resilience, and months of wondering what could have been. This is the Jeremy Hastie story.
It's disgraceful, it's not accepted by anyone.
It is a terrible disgrace.
Bizarre, crazy, ridiculous.
One of the worst things I have ever seen done on a cricket field.
Hi, I'm Andrew Johnsen, player, selector, two-time Honours Board member and legend. I'll be your host through this awesome odyssey, this sensational saga, this dubious journey of Jeremy Hastie. Our story begins on January 11th, 2020. The Stallions took on the East Roosters at the home of Victoria University Cricket, Kelburn Park. The match offered Jeremy Hastie a chance to start the year strongly. Alright, we come back, start of summer 2020. What have you been working on at training?
Just playing straight, general technique.
Oh, and came to Thursday, team selection comes up, you've been named middle order, batting six, some would say a really important position. How did that make you feel?
Well, six felt like a good chance to show what I can do, perform well, and Captain Ben had confidence in me.
Ever the supportive team, the Stallions wanted to see Jeremy prosper, even if it was behind the cloak of anonymity. So firstly, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate your sacrifice and obviously the courage and conviction to be able to come out and speak out under these circumstances. So I want you to take me back, pre-season coming into 2020. What was happening?
Hey, look, looking back on it now, it was a tough season. The boys were struggling, no one was batting well. Not even Captain Ben was batting well. But one man was. One man looked great pre-season. Looked $1 million. Everyone thought so. The boys, they couldn't stop talking about front foot, back foot, covered drive, pull shot, just amazing play. And that man was Jeremy Hastie.
At 22 for 3, chasing 199, things looked dire. But a patient 54 not out from Dhiraj Mahadik and a classy unbeaten 116 from Captain Ben steered the Stallions home. No opportunity to bat for Jeremy, but there was always the next week. And Stallions players were hoping his shot would come soon. So the Kelburn Park clash concludes. Stallions win by 7 wickets. Captain Ben tons up. What was the mood like within the camp?
Yeah, Captain Ben batted well, batted excellently, but batted selfishly. All the boys really felt for Jeremy Hastie.
Why is that?
The pad rash.
The Stallions then ventured to Delaney Park, the fortress of Stokes Valley cricket. A top bowling performance from the visitors left a chase of just 138 and a potential opportunity for Jeremy to bat. With the third wicket falling only 37 runs short of victory, it seemed like the perfect chance to give Jeremy some time in the middle. But Captain Ben had other ideas. He sent himself in. Jeremy, what can you tell me about this?
I remember this day. This was when Woods threw away a 50.
Yeah. And what about you, Jeremy? What happened with you that day?
Well, I felt like it was a good chance for me to get promoted and have a go. Captain Ben decided to bat himself instead.
And how did that make you feel?
I thought, there must be something else going on here.
By now, there were real questions about Captain Ben's motivations. But gaining an insight was an impossible task. Multiple interview requests were met with radio silence. Ben, any comment on Jeremy's continued absence from the batting crease? Is this just a selfish attempt at breaking the Stallions' batting records yourself? Who is helping you? Why are you conspiring against Jeremy? It was right here, on this wicket, that the conspiracy became clear. Captain Ben did not want to see Jeremy bat. So it happened at Calvin Park, it happened at Delaney Park, and now it's happened at McAllister Park. Where was your head after all this?
When it happened again, I felt distraught.
And what did you do next?
It was at this point I stepped in to write a petition to investigate the club.
A request to see the petition under the Official Information Act proved fruitless. So that's 3 games in a row where the Stallions win, but Jeremy Hastie's not given the opportunity to bat. Did you think something was up?
Yeah, I was scared. I didn't want to lose my spot in the team. I didn't want to speak out. I wanted to be selected week after week. But clearly, the senior leadership team, Captain Ben, they had their own agenda. Jeremy Hastie became isolated from the group. I didn't know what to do. You don't know what the Stallions mean to me.
The scandal had scaled unexpected heights over the course of 3 warm January weeks. But where did it stand in the echelons of Stallions folklore? We sat down with noted Stallions historian Richard Taylor to find out. So Padrash, it's not the first Stallions scandal, is it?
Absolutely not, AJ. We've had multiple scandals over our many years of rich history.
And before Padrash, what would you say were some of the bigger ones?
Oh, well, I mean, you've got, going back to the first one that springs to mind, you have the Graham Mann blog post. Graham Mann, final game, opening the batting, out, first over to an in-swinger from a left armour. I was the umpire, gave him out. He then went home and wrote a ferocious blog post complaining about how it was impossible for him to be out unless the ball was swinging, which it was. And then in the following week, he got out in exactly the same manner. What else is there? There's obviously the Shaq explosion of Wakefield Park. I think we all remember that day with mixed emotions. Shaq's last game, obviously last games are a big factor in Stallions history, and he was given out. He finally found form after years of struggling, really, and he finally found some form in a previous game. Last innings, given out off the shoulder by one Joshua Keogh, and proceeded to call him names, not nice names. Quite nasty names, really, and then throw all his gear. And I believe the bat made it onto the artificial turf. It was really quite something. And then probably, biggest other than Padrash would have to be the Desi boys' multiple debacle over several weeks of them cheating, us basically cheating as well, culminating in Josh Rippon supposedly walking into their umpire, the umpire trying to fight him, and in the middle of all of that, a certain Mr. Andrew Johnsen falling over on a cricket ball and having to be taken to hospital for an x-ray.
So, it's a rich tapestry of controversy, isn't it? Where does Padrash sit on a scale of Stallion scandals?
Well, I think when you compare it to the others, Padrash has to be right at the top, because in order for Padrash to have succeeded as a master plan conspiracy, several senior Stallions players, yourself included, AJ, had to have been in on it.
Captain Ben refused to be interviewed for this production. Jeremy Hastie worked on his batting during the off-season and is now opening the batting for the Stallions. Jeremy and Tony are still together after completing couples counselling. Victoria University of Wellington Cricket Club refused to investigate these claims. And I'm pleased to announce that the Stallions are now playing reserve-grade cricket. We may never truly know what happened during the summer of 2020.
Hand, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you.